It's a late night. With Onset and Bravo, it's a scary place to be. It's a dangerous place to be, but let me tell you, it's an exciting place to be as well. Andy, a little bit of a surprise for us, casting an extra series, but a very pleasant one, because we've got an amazing series ahead of us.
This is going to be good. We were just pulled from backstage. We were told there's one more series of the evening, and of course we are ready to jump to the task. We hope you're going to enjoy the series as well. It's going to be a big one here with G1 and Native White. Tell you what, Native White coming off of that series, and it's like, hey, actually get ready, you're playing right now. And to be honest, they're probably pretty hot and they're probably ready to play. Perfect
time to play, I think, for them, especially a team which is going to be flying on that momentum. Some momentum players on this lineup as well. I mean, you talk about momentum players. Barcode, by the way, I've been able to hear him echoing through the arena every single time he's picked up a kill this entire weekend so far. You've got Mikwen, famous. By the way, welcome back, Mikwen.
Yeah.
Great to see you back on the main stream here and doing some big things.
It's a coming back party. Different from what Clutch discussed on the desk. It's actually a coming back party.
Very different.
Welcome back, Mikwen, and excited to see what he could do. We just saw those guys backstage, actually, and they were pretty hyped, as you might expect, coming off of that game.
Yeah, and then the other side of the thing, you got G1, who got a little bit of a beating earlier on when we saw them last time on stream, and as I say, welcome to a little bit of late night Halo, everybody. G1 versus Native White, and as you can see, we've got a bit of recharge strongholds to kick us off.
A little bit of after-hours HCS major action. This is going to be a lot of fun. Welcome along. This is not family-friendly. Please make sure your kids are in bed. It is past 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Shock rifle in the hands of Mikwen, though he will fall on the bat ledge. Seriously, though, it's not going to be family-friendly.
No, it's not going to be family-friendly. I'm going to drop it.
Oh, never mind. No, we'll get there.
Let me see if someone deserves it. Let's see a play that makes that come out. But let's see what's happening so far in this game. You can see Native White have a little bit of an early lead, but only a couple of points. They've lost a few kills, though, unfortunately. Gilkey manages to pick up 2 there, and I think Sub might have been screen watching for a few seconds because Gilkey was in front of him for quite some time.
And as you can see there, G1, as you see in the upper graphic there, needs 220 points, so they already had 30 points on the board when the initial reset happened. We're joining in off of that game reset, so do keep an eye on the red side of the scoreboard. They will only need 220, while Native White will need 250.
Long way to go for Native White, but this has been an incredible run, and to be honest with you, a little bit surprising, I would say, coming through the bracket, the classic underdog team, but performing extremely well. We were kind of naming them the International District, understandably so, because of the international flavor that we have on this lineup, but G1 at the moment struggling a little bit in this little reset that we're seeing going on here. It's because Gilkey is starting to find a little bit of form. The man is 3-0 at the moment.
Certainly one of the highest placings both for an Australian player and a Latin American player already at a major HCS event, so congrats to them. However, they find themselves Saturday night action on the main stage, or at least the main stream here for the evening, as they now have their tournament lives on the line yet again. However, as we said, coming off of big momentum on the other side of the stage, G1 knows this is no competitor to take lightly.
Interesting to note, pretty much the differential has been wiped out between the two teams at the moment. Native White, unfortunately, find themselves with only 1 player alive. The trade will come in, but I'm pretty sure the camo would have been secured by G1 down in bottom middle. Bubu Dubu taking the advantage now to move up onto B, to put the pressure on. As off the back of those kills, he can not only get that conversion, or should have got that conversion, I will say, but Mikwen makes a hero play, get the reset, and somehow or other, Native White have come out of a forwarded situation and still in a position to score.
Yeah, still scoring here now, 72-6 after all that. You have to think a lot of veteran talent on the G1 side of the stage at this stage, and undoubtedly out-experiencing the side of Native White in total time on tournament main stages. However, so far, it's been a very different story. Native White in control of the game and the scoreboard.
Mikwen always giving Suspector a little bit of a run around there. Gilkey comes in to clean things up. Good team help coming in as well from Barcode. So Falcated has to play the high here, has to try and survive, and manages to do so. Tapping picks up 1, and now Gilkey unfortunately will fall. G1 though, starting to come to life a little bit here. Slays has never been the problem for them. It's just that efficiency in the objective. Sometimes a little bit of aggression missing on this G1 lineup.
That's right, 3 were dead there for Native White here. Tapping button's gonna try to fly in, and that will unofficially be 4 dead. It's a little bit of a unlucky spawn trap. However, the 2 spawners on Native White are able to get 2 down on the side of G1. Now 2v2 on each side.
2v2 on each side. 3/4 of B has been captured, and it looks like another player from Native White's just gonna jump in there, and they are just relentless on B at the moment. I mean, looking across the Slays, and every time we seem to see G1 on our screens, they're picking up kill after kill, and Native White are just keeping this one scrappy. They're keeping it a little bit dicey, and it seems to be working for them.
Yeah, it certainly does here. Up 106-12. Finally, AB will flip, but it looks like an AC trade there. Big play here for let's see what Sab can do. Team holding me down, and it's going to be a trip cap for a moment for the side of G1.
Now, how did Native White get out of this? This is going to be very interesting to see. Getting out of a trip cap, so difficult to do against some of the best teams in the world. Tapping buttons. Had no idea that Sab was going to be flying in, but most importantly, got that conversion. If he would have stepped out a little bit earlier, maybe gone to the death screen a little bit earlier, that would have been that triple cap staying alive, but they managed to reconvert, and all of a sudden, G1 are roaring back into this game.
Yeah, they really are, and if they keep this up, they'll be tied in not too long. Great stuff here from Sab. Amazing place to stay alive on batteries. Those are not easy angles to challenge up to. Oh boy, and Sab and Gilky been playing alongside and against each other for quite some time. Sab gets the better of him there.
Feels like G1 are starting to read the Native White plays a little bit more. It's constantly flooding into B, trying to convert that one, trying to keep it scrappy like I mentioned. And now G1 are making sure as soon as they pick up one kill, they focus onto B if that's trying to be converted. Make sure that Native White are getting staggered a little bit more. AB in their control. And even though G1 do only need 220, if you're looking at how things are going in this game, it's getting a lot tighter and a lot closer.
Let's not forget, Native White was up by about 100. And just like that, it's only about a 35 or so point lead. Barcode and Suspector will trade there, but now bubu, shock rifle in hand.
I'm gonna say, Barcode did an incredible job there to kill Suspector, get that trade. Almost looked like he was gonna turn the situation completely on his head, but one player that can certainly do that, rip heads, rearrange, it's gonna be bubu dubu. He's on our screens right now, and he's got perfect weapon to do so.
Taking his time here, very selective with those angles, does not want to get picked off. And really look at this, only challenging gold stairs, gonna rotate back a bit. I like this though for bubu, who's not panicking. They might be down by quite a margin here. However, he knows that his team have a lot of time yet to get the points that they need on the board.
Not quite connecting with the headshots as you would expect when in the POV of bubu. Barcode, Gilky combining their top gold and bottom gold to make sure that they get him out of the lobby for a few moments time, and off the back of that, Native White once again managed to flip B. It's been a consistent pattern of play so far in this game, and Native White seem to be getting the better of G1 in that little scrap.
Yeah, they certainly do. I also think it's great resilience from G1 because that trip cap was pretty lengthy from G1 to bring them to the 77-point mark, and a weaker team might have gotten dismayed by that. However, Native White, they bounced back, they regained their composure, and now once again, they're up by 100.
I mean, that was 3 dead. Make it momentarily 4 dead for G1. Every player taking a little bit of a turn here to hit the respawn screen and have a little bit of a nap, and Gilky now with the camouflage here for Native White. And if you're G1, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. I'm starting to get a little bit worried. Yes, you had a little bit of an advantage by 30 points before this restart happened, but at the moment, they can't find any footing. It just seems like they're constantly being caught off guard by some aggressive angles being taken by Native White members, some off angles, maybe just things they're not expecting. And for a team which is pretty heavy on the setups and how they like to hold angles, G1 are struggling with the way that G1 are, the Native White, excuse me, are approaching this game.
Look at Gilky, just beautiful angles, as you say. He goes up to Sneaky, then he comes all the way down, challenges there from long haul, picks up another one on bat ledge, and another one in pipes yet again. However, during all of that, in the end, it's a trip cap for G1.
Yeah, Gilky doing some great work with the Slays, but unfortunately, it doesn't turn into points, and that's the most important thing to remember, of course. As G1, whoa. Okay, Slays can be pretty cool at the same time. They're certainly going to lock things down. Hero for Native White at B. They get a little bit of a bandage on the bleeding, but here come G1 again. 185 to 121. A reminder, G1 only need 220 in this game, so that even though Native White are looking good, even though they're making plays, there isn't a lot of wiggle room for them at this point in the game. B's going to be flipped over here by Sab for G1 again, and they will continue scoring.
This was just a 100-point game. Now, just like that, there's a 50-point game, 185 to 127, and as we said, Gilky gets the camo, gets the disruptor, picks up 3 or 4 kills. However, during that, G1 goes on an absolute tear and brings the game back.
3 dead though for G1. Native White again fight out of the spawn, and somehow or other manage to get control, and now they have an A-B setup, and I'm really interested to see actually how they approach this, because they have been in a position where they've like to take a few individual fights, like to put the pressure onto G1, but now they can hold the map. I want to see what they've got in store for us here.
Lots of disruptor use here for Barcode and Gilky, and it's really extending that damage over time, as you just saw. Just delaying the push that a teammate might be able to make. Barcode watching the cross now. Pivotal angle, however, has to rotate back. And here comes the push. He'll have the comms there. Great little angle from Barcode from bottom there. And they will maintain 2 dead for G1.
I mean, the most important thing here, that 2 dead means that push is completely ruined. G1 cannot break out from C if they lose those 2 kills. 2 players never going to be able to break through against the 4, and I tell you what, the Disruptor is disrupting right now, and G1 are not enjoying themselves. All of a sudden, Native White are roaring back into this, and Barcode, he is looking phenomenal once again.
4 dead at the 233 mark. That really could be the end of the game here. They're about to hit 240. This is the final set of points.
One more hold, and they win this game. A Native White, they continue this Cinderella story. Nades go in just to slow things down. Bubu has no idea, but he just about finds out in the nick of time. It's a desperation play. 3 dead though for G1. Native White only have to deal with Bubu Dubu and get this reconversion, and that will be the game going to them. Everyone from G1 is sleeping right now on the death screen, and Native White keep the momentum rolling.
Picking up where they left off in that last series, and there's a lot of teams that say after we win on a Saturday night, we want to keep playing, and they're probably very grateful that this match is played tonight because, as you say, big momentum off that last series in a Game 5 win, final push. They add that win to the tally as well. They'll take game number 1 of the series.
I think it's a really interesting matchup between these two teams. Complete clash of play styles. You have G1, like I mentioned, love to hold the map, love to be kind of always watching each other, but not from shoulder to shoulder, just making sure each other's angles are covered from areas where they're anchoring, areas where they're deciding to push. It's very methodical in the way they approach things. Native White, the complete opposite.
Yep. I think also worth talking about Native White and the fact that you have 4 different players that are so different in terms of their stories in professional Halo, which I think is really cool. You have Mikwen, of course, the most veteran member of this team, also worked on Halo Infinite, had to take a year off, now he's back, exciting story there. Barcode, new young gun from Australia, 20 years old, maybe he's 21 now, but right around 20 or 21 years old. Tapping buttons, right? A lot of success in Latin America as well, the way that he comes up. And I think if you look at the way that this whole team comes together, just really different stories across the board.
It's interesting, we can talk a bit more about those stories as well, because it's fascinating. We were talking about tapping buttons coming into this event, and we were like, there's only so long you can kind of rely on what you've done in the past before you have to do something again, right? And he has to reinvent himself, and he has to bring a little bit more success back to the Tapping Buttons name. It was always, Tapping's the best player in LATAM by a mile.
Right.
It's questioned now, right? There's so much talent in the region. You look at Luminosity, some of the players on there. Noble's one that always stands out to me. Trust me, that guy can hang with the best of them in those 1Vs, and I think Tapping Buttons is kind of seen that himself. He's like, okay, I'm on this new lineup. This is a really good opportunity for me. I have to remind everybody just how good I am. There's a reason that I am the player from the region that's been picked up. And Barcode, like you say, maturing day by day, maybe in-game more than out-of-game, would you respect, Alex? But it's just a fascinating mix of personalities, but all of them have something to prove in the space, and I think that's why they're gelling so well together.
Yeah, and I think Gilkey too, right? Gilkey's a really interesting piece of that puzzle as well. Gilkey, professional player all the way back since late H2 into H3 as well, and even more time overall compared to Mikwen, right? Mikwen with higher placings overall in terms of their experience. However, Gilkey with the most years of experience, and it's just a really interesting mix, yet all 4 of them still a lot to prove, still a lot to fight for in their own ways. Their 4 stories have come together in a pretty special way already in Charlotte. We'll see if they can continue it, but as you see on the other side of the stage, it's G1 needing to dig deep to keep their tournament life alive.
Long way to go in the series, like we mentioned. Only game 1, but the fact that it's a control-based game type that Native White managed to win against G1, that spells a little bit of alarm bells ringing, shall we say, for G1, because that's where I expect that to be their bread and butter. You look at Stronghold, you're looking at King of the Hills. I would expect G1 to dominate pretty much every team in the tournament, maybe outside of a few, right at the very top of the pyramid, but that's where their success has been. Game number 2, Aquarius Slayer. This is going to be a very interesting one indeed, because the fast pace of Native White, if they come out off the rip here and get 3-4 dead, then they're just going to keep continuing to push. They're going to excuse me, it's not, is it life? What's going on?
It's Aquarius, don't worry.
Okay. Take over.
You're on top of your game, Mark, don't worry.
That's completely thrown me.
They're just keeping us on our toes here, Mark, in the late night. Halo action. Here we go, jumping into the game. Tapping buttons with the camouflage in hand. Also the thruster in hand. Ping's coming down. Not too many cares. A back whack. And a little diggity back smack against Bubu Dubu. That will give them a 1-1 game.
I'll give you a few more minutes to think about that name.
What was that?
Don't worry. Suspector gonna win the 1v1. 2v2 on the map at the moment, but 3-3 on the score. And this is a slow pace at the start of this one.
Really slow.
People are trying to find a few players at the moment, and look at Gilkey and Mikwen just hovering around those blue nades, maybe waiting for them to come up actually off the respawn. Such a power item. You see teams got to this point now where they're timing everything. Thrusts, blue nades, dynamos, whatever you want to call them, certainly being tracked by every single player, and certainly the coaches stood behind them.
And certainly, as you said, got to be one of the slowest starts in terms of total kills on the board in an Aquarius Slayer in quite some time. And you kind of get the feeling after that game, G1 does not want to put themselves in a place where they're the ones making the mistakes.
Suspector gets 2 though, completely opens up the map. Now, are we going to see G1 hold position here? Are you going to see the collapse? We're seeing the answer in front of our eyes right now because they get 3 dead, and that is a big swing of power and momentum in the favor of G1. And I think they needed that after that last game.
I think they absolutely do. I think they know they need it as well. Look at this pinch coming in. Bubu keeps his shields as well. He has the help from Suspector and Foul. It's a perfect push, 4 dead. Now they're up 10-5, and maybe this is where the G1 momentum train begins.
Barcode's going to be met by a little bit of a nasty surprise as he comes around this corner. Unfortunately, he's got a friend there to tell the story. The friend has been evaporated, tapping buttons. Come here, Barcode. Sam picks up the kill.
It's like a horror film.
That was terrifying.
You let your friend go through the doorway, he gets 1 tapped by a heat wave. The first one to go, tapping again. My God, in the spawn in the fridge gets taken down. Here's Suspector now with camo, 16-5. This game got out of hand quick, and as we said, this was the momentum that G1 needed.
And this is the thing, right? Native White, they want to play fast, they want to play loose. Problem is, if G1 do find that structure, and they do find the kills on a small map like Aquarius, they're going to be able to lock you down and get shots on you before you can even move, and that's what you're seeing right now. Cam in the hands of Suspector. Falcated and Bubu doing the work, and I mean, it shows that your teamwork's pretty much on point at the moment when Suspector's got the camo and he's disappeared before he can really do any damage.
Yeah, absolutely. His teammates are just wiping everything across the map as they push, and this has been near perfect Slayer Aquarius for the side of G1. 19-5 right now, and Native White looking very different in this game number 2. It's another killing spree on the side of G1, and trade doesn't come through. A little bit surprising there from our perspective. Gilkey will live to tell the tale.
Always got to keep in your mind in Halo Infinite as well with some of these Slayers that can be a little bit snowbally. If you can get a 4 dead yourself, it's your opportunity to do what just happened to you to the other team. Right. A little bit of revenge. But it's very difficult sometimes when you're in the situation to think that way. You're just trying to desperately get back in the game, try and keep those deaths down. Maybe you're over-aggressive, all these things that go through your head. And that's why you find yourself at the score that we do at the moment, but G1 do lose 2. Native White have the numbers advantage, but are they able to collapse quick enough to find that 4 dead situation? They get 3, last player alive is bottom middle, and all of a sudden Native White's starting to roll a little bit.
Yeah, they'll need 3 more of those though, just to tie the game unanswered if they want to get back into this one. It's a tall order, but as you say, starting to make some progress, but we have to highlight Falcated right now. We talk about how this man often does not get enough credit. He's 10-3, and the highest kills on Native White is 3 kills. And here he is with 10 kills on the board.
Camo just popped on the map as well. Tapping buttons is set up top mid. I think his job is just to watch pink here. Maybe they need to get a little bit of damage and maybe a kill going in their favor before they want to make a move on it. Trying to bait the moves to top middle. Tapping's going to pick up 1. He's tapping that commando. Pretty damn good at the moment and finds himself a 2nd. Falcated, last player alive. All of a sudden, G1 have lost control of this map, and it's a little bit early to say losing control of the game, but certainly momentum swinging back in the favor of Native White.
7-kill game just like that. It was just 24-12, and now it's 25-18. We said it would be difficult, but guess what? Native White is doing it. 3 dead for G1, now only down by 7, make it 6.
Bubu gets picked off a spawn as well. Gilkey's going to get information on 2 more players. He's got a little bit of help coming in. Suspector takes some damage, and Mikwen flies in to pick it up. It's a 4-kill game now between these 2 teams. Bubu's going to be evaporated as well. He gets taken care of, and all of a sudden, this is a much, much more competitive-looking game.
Wow, a textbook comeback, and we said it would be a tall order. They needed 3 slays in a row. They just did that. It's a 4-kill game. They were just down by 12. 26-22 here. Native White right back in the match.
G1 managed to stabilize a little bit here, though. Just for a second, they got 4 back on the map, but look at that kill feed. It's all blue at the moment. Barcode picks up 1. Mikwen's trying to stay alive at the moment and does a pretty good job of it. Finally gets taken down, but there's the heat wave. There's the dynamites flying in. Tapping buttons finds 1. Barcode's going to have a little bit of a peek and a prod as well. Falcated's got some help here, but it's a 2-kill game, and Native White are right back into this.
This is unbelievable. What a comeback. I think it was a 15-kill deficit not that long ago. Now brought down to 1, 27-26. and Native White proving that they are a force to be reckoned with, especially on this Saturday night.
Okay, no shields. Barcode's moving in. He gets his 9th kill of the game, and Native White have completed the comeback here. We're just over halfway through this map. We thought it was over. G1 completely decimating their opponents, but now Native White are doing exactly what I said! They've turned this game on their head, and it's thanks to the Australian Barcode.
Need we remind you, this was 24-12, and now it's 31-28. That is an unbelievable 19-kill swing. Now make it 32-28. Native White just the comeback of the tournament so far.
I mean, these guys have been the comeback kings. Look at that comeback they had.
Yeah.
In the previous series. And now they want to take another scalp. And I tell you what, they're begging the HCS administrators to keep the series going tonight. We want to play our next game right here, right now. We'll play all night. 5 kills the difference between the two teams. That Suspector's going to be caught out as well, and Native White are rolling right now. G1 are crumbling.
I cannot get over
Frenzy!
Frenzy for Barcode. We talked about what this young gun can do in his debut season last year, and now a killing frenzy in one of the most significant comebacks in a Slayer we've seen in the HCS period, 39-31.
What is happening on the side of G1 though? They are completely falling apart here. The teamwork has disappeared. Barcode gets his 11th kill in a row. And now it's just 10 kills to go here for Native White to go up 2-0 in the series.
This is an unbelievable result. Falcated gets away with that only because of a nade from Bubu as well. 5 kills though, not over just yet. G1 can still create an upset to respond to the comeback. 4 minutes left on the clock, 40-35 in favor of Native White.
Tap in trade. Sab's got the heat wave though, and that can be a real difference maker. Barcode picks up the thrust. Camo popping up in 5 seconds as well. This next round of slays might just decide the game here. If it goes G1's way, all of a sudden they're like, okay, cool, we can get back into this game. If it doesn't, then this could be them looking at match point, looking at tournament point.
Where does this camo go? That's the question. Keeping a very close eye on top middle. Barcode's holding this angle for the camo. Gilk gets it. Gilkey with the game in his hands, 42-38.
Sab's gonna fly in. He gets this kill, which is massive because it's a heat wave play. Oh no, Sab absolutely evaporates him with that heat wave. And it's a 4-kill game. The camo will not have an impact, but the heat wave certainly will.
Sab just keeping G1 alive. If he doesn't get that kill, this one could be over. Now a 3-kill game. Far from over. 3 minutes left on the clock.
Tapping buttons. Shoes tapping as he scarpers back into the base at the moment. Sab's been kind of spotted out here. They know where that heat wave is. G1 completely stacking this side of the map. Mikwen's gonna be caught out here. It's a 2-kill game. Those dynamo nades so important for clearing out bases. Native White tried to rotate around to pink, tried to rotate away from the power that G1 had in their hands. Sab clearing out the back of this base now. He knows that Native White are out there.
We saw when Native White was capable of composure-wise in that last game 5 in the late game, in a game 5 Slayer. Can they find that same late game composure here? They're up by 2 minutes and 30 left.
Barcode moving in again, and Barcode gets the entry frag in this battle. Falcated taken down, Suspector taken down as well. 46-42, Bubu might be going as well, and it's Barcode once more. He's 16-7 in this game. Falcated, though, will keep this game going as G1 again somehow try and claw their way back into this. We're back to a 2-kill game, and that camo is back up in a few seconds.
Not over just yet, and G1 would have just watched what Native White did to Sentinels. They know they cannot afford any mistakes in the late game here on the Slayer, and that's why they're playing this so carefully. 2-kill game. Make it a 1-kill game, 47-46.
Mikwen got super aggressive there. Falcated's got the thrust. The commando doesn't hit. The sidekick certainly does, and we're tied up.
Unbelievable.
Trades again in the base. Barcode looking for Falcated, but he's got 2 players flying at him right now. Bubu picks up 1. It's 49 for G1. They only need 1. Gilkey has no idea the foul is behind him. And somehow G1 not only hold on in the series, I think they just hold themselves together winning that game.
And you can tell by the looks on their faces, there's not a ton to be extremely proud of there. They get the win, but they know they need to ice up for the rest of this series. That game went 24-12 in favor of G1 to 39-31 Native White, back to a 50th kill being registered for G1. That was an unbelievably back and forth slayer, and you don't always see swings that size on Aquarius. They can go back and forth, not always in that large of a margin. G1 stays alive, 50-48. They will tie up the series and maybe now be able to take a breath as we head into game number 3.
I think they need to as well, because there's a few moments in that game where I was like, what is that? They are falling apart in front of our eyes, but they got it together when it mattered. And that's what it really counts for when you get into those big moments in the series, right? When the big moments happen, can you keep the composure together? Because it fell apart for a moment, but someone on that team said, please, just slow down for a second. Let's get 4 battle rifles back on this map and give ourselves a fighting chance of winning this game.
Yeah, you got to wonder what Hoaxer was saying as well in that scenario, right? Hoaxer,
stop dying.
Yeah, please stop dying. Hoaxer spending a lot of time with that C9 roster last year. He's seen the highest level. He's seen a lot of grand finals. And you have to think, in a moment like that, you have to find a way to slow down the gameplay. And they did just that. It was not easy. You have to wonder, did Native White need to hold the foot on the gas just a little bit more there at the end, as they had, as we said, an 8-kill lead in the late game. That gets thrown away. G1 steals the game back for keeps. 50-48 is game number 2 score. The series is tied 1-1.
And what a different series it looks now, right? If that's a Native White win after a comeback like they had, they've got 3 maps to close things out. And with the way they're playing, it looks like they would have done so. But now G1 back into it, a lifeline for G1, and we're tied up at 1-1 with neither team ahead in the race to win this series. I mean, I kind of like the fact that we got this extra series because it's looking pretty fun. Let's take a look at some oddball stats.
It is. We'll take a look at the HCS Charlotte stats so far at the major. Both teams are 1-1. KD pretty darn close to an even 1.0, give or take a few, as well as a plus 18 differential on the side of G1, plus 15 for Native White. So I would say this is setting the table quite well for our game number 3.
Series is 1-1, oddball records 1-1.
Yep.
KD about 1. It's pretty close.
Everything to play for here for these squads. It's pretty close. Tough. You got to dig deep, right? Keep in mind, these guys were here early today getting ready for their first series. It's been a long day of Halo, and as Gaskin said earlier in the show, Halo majors are always a marathon. You need to be ready for these long days, these long nights, to find a way to dig deep in the late hours of these rounds to make sure you get to Championship Sunday. Let's not forget, it's not just a series on the line. You lose here, you're out of the tournament. You will not wake up tomorrow to head to the venue. Instead, you'll be ready to get yourself home and not to Championship Sunday.
I mean, speaking of long days, nobody's had a longer tournament so far than Native White.
Yeah.
They were here late last night, playing through the open bracket all the way to late here tonight. They want to get to Championship Sunday more than anyone. G1 probably feel they deserve to be there, but I think it's a great kind of
contrast.
It's a great example as well of how tight the competition is, full stop.
Yeah.
At the moment, and it's just getting stronger and stronger. And whoever you are and whatever your seed is, you cannot afford to take your foot off the gas for one moment. Well, here we go. It is now live fire. Promise you. And it's going to be oddball, so let's see how this one plays out. Records completely even across the board. Series even across the board. And I gotta be honest, I kind of want to watch a little bit of Barcode.
Great idea. We'll get over there. Starting off with Sap here on G1. See what he can do off the rip. Nades don't hit top tower, so he's going to have to reset. First kills coming in for G1, though those will be traded out.
3 dead though for G1, so even though their first kill did not go their way, the damage was enough for them to collapse in and get the kills going in their favor. Also, you can see that Tappin has got himself a sniper rifle.
He's been tapping all them buttons. He's been doing it quite well throughout this tournament, you could say without a doubt. If you're just joining us here, the final match of the evening, some late night Halo action from Charlotte. Barcode gonna chop up top middle, picks up 1 there, will need to reload, but wants to be the captain, the patroller of top and bottom middle. Still a little bit of overshield in hand as well.
So I'm gonna take some damage, and at the moment, Barcode is the man at the front doors of the nightclub. Anyone who wants to come in and get near that oddball, well, you're gonna have to pay a price. That's gonna cost you a little bit of shields. Finally, G1 do make the break. Falcated, though, gets pushed back, and Barcode once again just maneuvering around the map expertly at the moment, picks up that oddball, He's got Gilkey there for a little bit of support as well to stop that push coming in. And what a start this has been from Native White. They've already crossed that 40-point mark.
Yeah, great job there from Barcode. Also, hitting that repulse was absolutely key to make sure he doesn't get brained by Falcated. I would say 9 times out of 10, Fal hits that shot in the back of house. But off of those plays and off of the damage, Native White now already 50 points on the board.
Interesting to see as well on the G1 side, Bubu and Sab not got going yet, no kills for them, but the amount of information that Barcode just picked up, by the way, he peeked out the small window and saw 4 players, and he's like, I think they're on me. Oh my goodness me, Barcode last alive and takes one to the grave with him.
3 dead as well on the side of G1 there. However, last player alive was able to get away with the ball, also in a play ball position. Keep an eye on the overshield now. Gonna go in the hands of Mikwen here. Mikwen unleashed. Able to play the game once again after, of course, his brief hiatus. And he's back and ready to go here.
Finds 2 as well. Nice little bit of cleanup from him. Immediately moves his attention towards the obble, which was played by G1, and he's not going to be too bothered that Sab's in front of him because he's got an OS, so he's going to run it straight at him. And that's a really smart play. Sometimes you're kind of thinking about, oh, as a player here, do I need to change my route? No. If you've got support there, you've got OS, run it at him, because if you get that kill, he's going to be spawning as far away from that objective as possible.
Rotates to Nest as well. He needs to stay alive. A lot of pressure going to be coming in. That's a nice isolated 1v1 for him. And will now continue to pick them apart. Oh, Sab answers back, though, with a great stick.
Good rotation, though, from Native White, moving that ball all the way towards the play ball position here at the back of B.
You knew he was going to grab it as well.
You gotta play the ball, man.
Wow, that's a throwback. Sab knew what was happening there, and you need to toss that ball off. If your Barcode let go of that thing earlier towards the back, the pressure was coming. I think everyone knew that that play was telegraphed from the point of view that we were watching it from. That ball doesn't play either. Tapping keeps that one alive, and in the end, somehow the ball's still back green.
G1 3 dead, though, and I'm gonna have to just say it. I'm really trying not to say it. Clutch did that once.
Clutch did do that once. There you go. Barcode makes sure
so much better
to give it a repulse off the map. There was one time where Clutch made a huge mistake. Who am I kidding? Several times where Clutch made huge mistakes on the main stage. He's not even in the venue
Away
anymore.
from the main
so
stage.
we can say whatever we want about him, to be honest. Oh, poor guy. 78-26, 3 minutes left on the clock here. Still a very good performance early on from Native White.
Jeez.
Barcode with the 2-tap there. First
Barcode's
one
playing out of his mind right now.
He really is. Barcode
Genuinely
looks good.
He's got the power weapons to play with. Unfortunately, he's got no ammo in them, so it's kind of just ornaments on the mantelpiece as far as having an effect in the game. Sab doesn't get the pop on the OS. And Gilkey's got a lot of responsibility now. He needs to buy time for the rest of his teammates to get in position to fight for this. 2v2 on the map. Suspector in the 1v1 with Gilkey. Gilkey doesn't miss a bullet. And that lead is going to stay in their hands. And your overshield once more goes into the hands of Mikwen. That's his second overshield in a row now. And here comes Austin.
Yeah, here comes Mikwen. He is out for blood as well. He sees the rotate coming. Fal's looking for him in the corner. Mikwen knows to check it, though. That's part of it.
Oh! Falcated says, it was me all along, Austin. It was me all along.
Oh, no. Mikwen knew to check the corner. Falcated knew he was coming as well. And Mikwen with the early melee, it will not connect. And what looked like it was going to be a perfect read on the play ends up in a dub for G1. However, Native White get the last laugh. That was 3 dead for G1.
I'm so glad that you didn't get that reference. Anyway, bottom middle, tapping button. Still holding the line here for Native White, and he's got the heat wave as well. That should be an easy kill, an easy cleanup, and he might turn 2 here. Tapping buttons! Might have just secured the round. He has secured the round there with that kill onto Suspector. G1 fall in the first round. Native White again looking so good.
So good here, and they are once again, they're hungry. They know they want to get to Sunday, and that's the question here in this series. Who can do it as we get into now the second round? Native White already with a round on the board. 1 round to go before they take the lead in the series.
Nothing quite like a hungry Sunday. Mikwen gets the stick before he goes to the grave, but there's a little double coming in from Falcated, and G1 need to figure this out. Gilkey's going to be alive bottom middle. He's got the heat wave. He's not going to connect quite in the way, but the ricochet isn't going to do enough. And again, it's a 1v1 that G1 players win 95% of the time when they're composed, when they're playing at home, when they're playing their normal game. They are shook right now. There's no other way to say it.
It's true. Gilkey there tucking into the pillars there on bottom middle and being an absolute nuisance. Such a difficult kill. 2 dead for the side of G1, make it 3. Suspector is your last player alive on pillars and in no position to really apply pressure. He has to circle back with the team tapping with a sniper rifle in hand. Oh my God, immediately finishes. Don't do it. He's got the back pocket overshield. And he's gonna put it to use. What a play from tapping. That is one of the latest overshield pops we've seen. Double, wait a minute, maybe he's got more. This man's crazy. 37-0 already for Native White.
I like that from tapping. He was like, my shields are broken. He just goes, that's cute.
Yep.
Oh, that wasn't cute. That was horrible. Falcated absolutely destroyed. Almost gets the stick as well. But the score, Andy, the score again. It's just racking up. Point after point, second after second. That's finally G1 make the break.
Look at Gilkey. Sab can't kill him because he's in the rat tunnel doing some wacky jump nonsense. Tapping is 17-6. This is wild. Finally, G1 with some points on the board, but Native White not making it easy whatsoever on their side of the stage.
Sab taking down a no shields. But luckily for him, finally G1 doing a little bit of work on the map, but it's 2v2, and again, the ball is forced to be played. Good shots coming in from Sab as the spikes are going to break the shields, but Mikwen again steals in. That's 3 in a row. 4 in a row, excuse me. Now going to Native White, and that has been the difference as well. You cannot let 3 overshields, 4 overshields, however many overshields in a row, because otherwise this is going to happen. Barcode and Mikwen are just going to run through you.
They tried to go down the poop chute, and it didn't work there. The Nays were waiting at the bottom of the map. Mikwen's just going to grab those kills with help and with the overshield. 60-12 now, and he continues to rotate.
Got PTSD from my few days before I left.
We cannot get into the details.
We said it was late night, we said it wasn't family friendly, but we will not go into
those details.
For my benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. 63-12 here for Native White. Tapping buttons just hit 19 and 9. Look at those numbers. Absolutely dominating performance. 2 dead though for Native White. Maybe an opportunity for G1 to make something happen, but here they go with the rotate. Doesn't matter how many are dead, they're going to keep running the ball away.
And Barcode is saying, hey, come find me. Chase me. Bubu gets 1, gets the sniper rifle, but look at Barcode. He gets that ball all the way away so that he can get the reset. Native White lose 2 though. Now there's a real opportunity here for G1, and I've got to be honest, they need to take this. They need to show me something here, Andy, to make me believe they can get back into this game.
They really do here. Well, let's not forget, 3:20 left on the clock. There's plenty of time for them to be able to get back in this game. However, they just need to put a few plays together, and we haven't seen that from them in this round.
Bubu's got sniper and ball, not really what you want to do, and that's going to once again force a play. Communication needs to be better. Someone needs to come and get that ball off of Bubu. He needs to throw it towards a teammate and say, cool, you might be playing well, you might be picking up a few kills. I have a sniper rifle. You hold this thing for a second. Barcode drops the nade. Not going to drop the kill, though, and Mikwen will fall as well. And G1, even after a little bit of a loose and ropey-looking hole, get that ball back in their hands, and for the first time in some time, should be able to secure the overshield as well.
That's right, it's all B spawns nest side as well for the side of Native White. As you say, should be an overshield foul. Doesn't pop it just yet, but now that he's up on the cuts, pops it right away to make sure he has it for these battles. But tapping and Mikwen, they rip the entire overshield off right away.
G1 picking up some kills. As Native White find themselves at 2 players. Having to watch in the spectator screen for a few seconds here. Falcated now trying to locate Tapping buttons, top of the tower. Tapping's got a sniper rifle though, and he bodies him, but doesn't get the headshot that he needed to take down Falcated. Complete control of the map right now in the hands of in the hands of G1. And they finally get that ball rotated back. A perfect setup for them here.
Not over yet, as we said. And you might have to think, G1 is thinking, this is a wake-up call for us. We need to get back into this game, and in a big way. Now they're only down by 25 points.
First 2 kills again, just gifted to Native White. Foul now has to turn his attentions away from objective time, which is going to win them the game, stay alive, and keep his team on the map. What happens on the other side of things? They go, cool, stay at tower. We're going to run this ball away from you again. Bubu was alert to it, though. He managed to cut down Mikwen as he was on his way forward. Another player gets cut down, and Gilkey now finds himself as last alive.
As you say, 3 dead. Gilkey needs to stay alive there on the rat tunnel side. Stays alive on concrete. Mikwen and Tapping are going to spawn back green. Here comes the push.
I mean, you're looking at the stats from Falcated here. It's 21-13. He's killing everything that's put in front of him. Bubu now has the ball in his hands as well, and all of a sudden G1 have started to find a bit of rhythm. They're almost able to tie up this game, but just as they were kind of on the precipice of something good, again, Native White have an answer for it. They break through, they get the kills. G1 lose 3, and Tapping Buttons holds this ball.
And look at this Tapping Button, white hot. He's 24 and 13, might need to play. Thinks about it, but doesn't. What a great play from Tapping, because the kills come in. Look at this.
Sab's the only player who can do anything here. Oh, he gets repulsed off the map with 1 second to go. And G1 by the skin of their teeth, by the hairs on their chins, managed to keep this game alive.
Should be a grab here in just a second if they can get down bottom middle. Here comes Mikwen. Yeah, Tapping Button grabbed it. That's going to be it. That will be the game. Native White, in a 2-0 fashion, closes out Live Fireball and will take the lead in the series.
That picture right there that we just saw sums up everything that I think is going on in the heads of G1 right now. Head in the hands. Nobody looking across at each other. No communication. Everyone's silent. Like, no one's saying anything. And it doesn't surprise me. Someone needs to be a leader on this team. Someone needs to step up and say, you want to come here tomorrow and play Halo, or are we just going to pack up out? Should we even bother playing this next game?
Yeah, and what did we talk about? You and I, looking at the G1 roster, looking at their games, we wondered who's going to be that leader.
Yeah, talent.
Right. Individual talent across the board, undoubtedly on the G1 side, but who is it going to be? Is it Bubu? Is it Fal? Who was going to be the player that was the vocal leader and the inspirational voice in times like this, when they have to dig deeper than perhaps ever before, when they find themselves 1 game away from tournament elimination? King of the Hill Streets could be the deciding game of the series.
Could be the deciding game of the series, but a good one for G1 as well. King of the Hill was a game type I mentioned at the start of this, control-based. They can hold a setup, they can hold the lanes. They can wait for Native White to make mistakes, get a little bit antsy, thinking we can close the series out right here, right now. And maybe they can grind them down if they get a little bit of a lead here. We've seen on Streets, teams winning this 2-0.
Yeah.
We've seen a right new team winning it 1-0 across 15 minutes. So this is an opportunity for them to really get back into the series, obviously, but maybe they can wrestle some of the momentum back if they play it in a way which frustrates Native White.
Absolutely. I think they also need a big mental reset, right? I think even we saw it in that Aquarius as well. We were seeing them on the receiving end of 13, 15 kill swings, and it looked like they just were all over the map, chickens with their heads cut off. I think they need to realize, take a breath. As you say, we need to get to Sunday. It would be an enormous disappointment for this squad if they were not playing on Championship Sunday. And they need to find a way to really, really mentally reset right now and realize what's on the line here. Even though it's late night here on Saturday night, they need to find a way to win this game 4.
Got to earn it. We'll take a look at the top KDs from the event, actually, while we wait for this game 5 to get going. And this is the top 5 KDs leading the way at the moment. And no surprise to see 2 members of FaZe Clan up there. Renegade leading the way, though, with a 1.3, but impressive numbers from Lucid as well. 1.29. It's almost weird to say it, but he hasn't been talked about enough in his performance.
I agree.
So far for Optic, and I think Optic have kind of been given a little bit of a cold shoulder by some people in this event. And Lucid showing that he is here, he is on the best form you can expect, and he is still the best in the game.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what both of those players and everyone on the top 5 will bring on Championship Sunday. But on our screens right now, these 2 teams are fighting for even their chance to participate on a Sunday. One of these 2 will go home before the evening ends and only play 2 of the 3 days. Here we are, game number 4, G1 versus Native White.
Native White can close it out right here, right now. First hill could be massive. We're talking about the mental game. We're talking about how draining this run has been. Well, off the break here, again, it's Native White who are winning it. They get 2 dead. Barcode gets away with the rockets, and last time I saw Barcodes with rockets in this position, he won the damn game for him.
That's exactly it. It was a big win indeed. Using both the rockets and the Stalker rifle, we'll expect to see that yet again. Of course, on Streets for Barcode and all of Native White. 25% on the board for them.
Look how tight they're playing this as well. Look how tight they are playing
tight,
together.
Yeah. 3 players essentially stacked on the hill and 1 player on Balk.
2 full there for G1. Very simple for them to do as well. Barcode tries to spread his wings a little bit here, but look at the score at the bottom. Bubu gets absolutely taken apart, just decimated in that 1v1. G1 find themselves 2 dead, but so do Native White. The Bulldog on the flank from Suspector. It's going to be enough to pick up a kill, but look at the time. It's uncontested. G1, again, just not even present on that first hill.
Suspector gets the help he needs though on driveway. We'll see what G1 can do if they can bounce back here. They do have control of Tram early on and a chance to tie the game. But as you say, it's an incredible start from Native White.
G1 have everything right now to succeed. They have complete setup, complete control. They have the Stalker, they have the Bulldog. They also have complete knowledge of where Native White were respawning on the map. So they need to be able to hold this for significant time.
Nice work there from, once again, Suspector and co. Val helps him out. Locking down C stairs. Now the driveway push is the only threat. Not a ton of time during all this, though, if I'm honest, for the side of G1. Finally, with 3 dead, they will get more points on the board, but not enough to hold it on this single push.
Bubu's made a really good play here as well. Mikwen's been a little bit of a nuisance on the commando, just really getting behind enemy lines, but Bubu doing damage and Suspector being there to clean it up means that not only that double kill gonna really help G1 secure this hill, but it cleans the way for them to pick up the rockets as well. G1 doing what they needed to do here on this tram hill. They are locking things down.
No rocket grab just yet, though, even though G1 does have control over the map. Gonna try to spike out bottom of tires, and here comes the push to get an angle on those rocks.
Falcated, I think, just swept in to pick him up, but gets the trade, which is fine. Keep Native White as far away as you can is the name of the game, and Suspector with that Stalker rifle is causing problems. And now, Native White having a few problems, weren't even able to get near that hill.
What an interesting display of the first 2 hills. It's very rare that you see the hills traded like that with complete control from each side. So these 2 teams showing just how closely matched they are with essentially perfect hill play on the first and second hills.
Suspector doing what he could there just to get into the faces and try and break the rotation that Native White have had. Of course, the fact that G1 were holding down that tram, it means they spawn a long way away from where this next hill is. They have to make that transition, whereas Native White could hold for just a few moments. Native White do a pretty good job of it as well. Sam trying to push up though. G1 getting a few kills, make that 3 kills. Mikwen now left on his own and G1 will break.
G1 waking up in this game, and I think it's the wake up that we said they needed to find. I think that first hill was pretty worrying for G1 fans and players alike. However, that second hill and the dominating fashion that they held it in, also the great patience, maybe giving them a little bit of life here as they now lead in our 3rd hill as well.
Now you're seeing Bubu start to roam a little bit more, starting to play with a little bit more freedom, a bit more space on the map, and Tappin's going to be last alive, and you can see on the player outlines that we know where he is, and Bubu now finds out himself as well, but it seems like Native White maybe get a little bit antsy here to try and close the series out, maybe trying to be a little bit over-aggressive and just not waiting for each other to make formulated pushes. Finally, you see 2 players combining together on the pink street to pick up the kills they need. Gilkey gets another as well. Sab's going to be down bottom middle, who picks up 2. He should be able to get the rockets as well, but no, there's Gilk.
Gilk's there, a little bit of a maybe just an accidental YY or a single Y press. Barcode was your last player alive for Native White. He will fall. It should be a G1 rocket grab in the end. They were down bottom middle right by the L.
Most importantly though, G1 locked down that hill, and they have transitioned as well towards the Pink Street hill. Suspector finds the rockets, and Native White all of a sudden, after an electric start here, they're the ones who are struggling to find rhythm. They're the ones who are struggling to find form.
Not sure if that second rocket had been fired. One of them hit Gilkey, didn't take him down though. Keep an eye on that. It looks like it was, there it is. Suspector fires that second rocket and makes it count against Mikwen.
Gilk just needs to survive for a few seconds here, waiting for his teammates to get back in the game. Drop wall could be massive for him to draw attention away and let the rest of his teammates do something a little bit different. Not sure if he spotted that player trying to push. The thrust is going to be an absolute nuisance here from Bubu, who re-challenges and wins that fight. And all of a sudden, G1 starting to win individual battles. That was the difference for them. But as I say that, all of a sudden, Native White, keep it scrappy, keep it messy, and get inside of that hill.
Look at the transition there, all the way from Courtyard here, all the way to Neons. We talk about it so often, it's so pivotal. If you have that Courtyard control, you'll fly over to Neons, and they're just about to finish this one as well, and go up 3-1.
Tapping buttons there, just survive for long enough, and somehow managed to survive the damage for those spike grenades to be used up and not as effective as G1 would have wanted. And then you saw Barcode just flying forward saying, help is underway. It wasn't enough though, as now Barcode is going to be left in a position where he has to just stay alive. He can't do that. And G1 with a clean break, a clean 4 dead as well, and this will be 3-1.
This will be 3-1, and we are going to be poised and set up very well for what could very likely be a Game 5, a double kill for Suspector as well. Now we head to the dreaded bottom middle hill with 3:22 left.
Suspector's taking this game on his shoulders as well. G1 want to end this in style. I kind of love this from G1. They want to play this bottom middle hill. They want to put Native White to the sword. Another rocket connects now from Sab. Suspector is 13 and 3, by the way. The man is positive 10.
This is more like it from G1. Even though they found themselves losing that first hill, they bounced back in the biggest of ways that the entire G1 fan base will be very, very happy about. As you say, with 3 minutes left on the clock and a 3-1 lead, it's pretty wise for G1 to just play this, apply the pressure, be in bottom middle. Do not try to milk time because it really could come back to bite you.
Yeah, we've seen it a few times. Give away that bottom hill, a little bit momentum starts rolling the other way, and you gotta remember we go back to the street hill that was completely dominated by Native White. So I think this is pretty smart from G1. Forcing Native White to make the plays, forcing them to show their hands, and just picking up the slays and just elongating the game.
Mikwen picks up that kill off the back of the damage coming in from the Sentinel Beam. Now gonna fly out bottom middle. What can Native White do here? Maybe somehow dig deep to get this hill. Keep in mind, this one's not over just yet.
No, it's not. But the good thing here for Native White is that they got Mikwen set up in Tram with a Stalker Rifle. Big problem if you're on G1. Someone has to flank and someone has to get him out of this position. Otherwise, you're just going to be able to lane everyone. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now. Bubu last alive. He's just come off a spawn as well. So he's going to be out of commission. And with time still left on the clock, Native White have got over 50% of this bottom middle hill. Bubu tries to make the play. He was the one trying to get Mikwen out of this position. But who deals with him? It's Mikwen himself with his Stalker.
Watch these next few kills. The next few kills in the feed will determine if Native White gets this very quickly with still 2:30 left on the clock. Sab also falls, so still man advantage for Native White.
2 dead again.
Here we go.
That's going to be 3 dead, you would imagine. Bubu trying to challenge inside of the hill. Mikwen should finish this. A little bit of fireworks, a little bit of laser beams coming in from Guildpot middle as well. And look at this. Now they're going to get the rockets. And Mikwen, he's going to get out of there.
They just need to jump in here, just step in. They need to take their time. Make sure you get the right kill. Just step in the hill, close it out, and then you'll find themselves fighting for a game-tying hill thereafter.
Well,
Here we go.
They've got so much time as well. They've got so much time.
Yeah.
They secure this bottom middle hill, and they were perfect on this street hill. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. I gotta say, this is one of the quickest times we've seen a full rotation of hills with this amount of time left in the game to win it.
Absolutely, this is dangerous territory for G1. It was 3-1 heading to the bottom middle hill. Now 3-2 with still 2 minutes left on the clock. Mikwen is not done yet. It's a killing spree and a perfect kill as well.
Stays alive as well. Tapping just flies down to help him.
Uh-oh.
G1 3 dead. And it's the perfect way to put it for G1 fans. And for the players who are playing right now, because they, once again, might have thrown this game away. Native White leave it late once more. And with 2 minutes, 10 seconds left on this clock, they could tie this game up.
We just got word actually from the new Mombasa government that based on the amount of time Mikwen has stayed at Tram, he now has land rights at Tram as he's owned this area for quite some time with the Stalker Rifle. Look at this. We're about to have a tied game off of an incredible, yet again, comeback from Native White.
G1 trying to keep it going though. G1 finally do break, and now that Stalker Rifle is out of ammo. So at least that's one less problem to deal with here. But he goes and picks himself up a thrust.
Look
G1
at the
inside of the hill. I mean, they're controlling the complete side of the hill right now, G1.
And here they go. Look at the patience as well. Mikwen knows he can grab the thrust, come back, wait for his teammates to pop up. Now he goes, but they need to make the push right now.
Suspector doesn't go down in all of that as well. Barcode, he picks up one. He picks up two as well, and he breaks into the hill. Tapping Buns is stood inside of it. They get the point. They tie it up, and there's still just under 2 minutes left in this game.
I am not kidding when I say I believe there was about 2:24 left on the clock when it was 3-1 heading to the bottom middle hill, and this has been such continuous control from Native White.
And now look at the rotation. Native White have it. Who picks up the rockets? Native White. Tapping Buns has those as well. All the power in the world. And maybe the series in his hands as well. They're almost 50% there.
This is wild. What a back and forth series this has been. Not just the games themselves, but even the score lines within the games have been absolutely wild. Look at this, 50% done already for Native White. G1 needs to go, they need to go now.
This needs to be a big rocket. He gets one, he survives, but G1 have broken through here, and by God, they needed to. Gilkey falls as well. That's gonna be players falling one after the other, and G1 break.
And they needed to. Look at this. Sab is 21 and 17. Now they're holding back Tram. Here comes the push right away, though. No time to waste. First one goes down. Somehow Suspector falls. Sab has to retreat.
He has to retreat, and it's Mikwen again, just keeping the pressure on. Keeping the pressure on. They managed to push up to Ivy, almost uncontested. 2 players flew in. Barcode's going to be challenging. Barcode wins that fight as well. Respawn's coming in at PD. This is perfect for Native White.
This is absolutely perfect. Still tapping is alive here on the dumpster. He'll drop down, probably get this kill on Foul. He flies back in, picks up the double kill as well. That's going to do it.
4 dead. G1 in the death screen. A desperate play is not enough. And let's flipping go indeed, Barcode. Wow, what a performance. The Cinderella story from the International District continues. Native White send G1 home.
And in the most unbelievable fashion, down 3-1 in your game number 4, and they find a way to dig back 1 hill at a time to come back to win 3 uncontested, unanswered hills and close out the game 4-3. And these guys are riding high on Saturday night. They have advanced to Championship Sunday. They will close out the series 3-1.
You can see the series in front of you, but how funny is it that we saw Mikwen just as we were walking back from the bathroom and we were like, Austin, you're back. And he's like, yeah, man, but I tell you what, these series, they're so tight. Like, I haven't missed this. And I said to him, wait, isn't this exactly what you missed? And he goes, yeah, that's a really good point, actually. It's exactly what I missed. Here we are again in another series. Someone needs to check Mikwen's pulse, I think, after this. Calm him down a little bit, get him ready for tomorrow, because by God, he's going to be there.
We need a cardiac specialist for Mikwen, as he said. It's never easy. Why do all of my series have to be this way? Absolute heart pounders. And to be honest, we quite enjoy it. We like the series that are played out that way. But Native White, the Cinderella story, as you said, continues. They will eliminate G1 and advance to Championship Sunday.
Have to talk about G1, though. Have to talk about G1 in a second. And you can see them eliminated from the tournament. And I tell you what, if you were going to say that was your losers bracket, elimination bracket, semi-final, Space Station versus Native White at the start of the tournament, if you put money on that, you're probably taking a lot home. What a matchup that is going to be.
Truly, I don't think anyone, I think the Vegas odds on that would have been pretty ridiculous. I don't know if anyone had Native White up against SSG, but Native White, they came here to play, and they will face off in the elimination semifinal. We'll take a look at the winner's bracket as well.
Wow, what a winner's final that is going to be. I mean, tomorrow is going to be a little bit special, everybody. So make sure you set your alarms wherever you are in the world, because we have FaZe Clan versus Optic Gaming. The people who are holding the rings, people who are holding the championships, going up against the very roster formed to steal it away from them. FaZe versus Optic is going to be coming up in your winner's final tomorrow.